Hello.
Hi.
Can everybody hear us?
Yeah.
See, we're going to read them over here, right? But we have to see if they can see us yet. Let me know if you guys can see us. All right. See, they can see us. This is the basement, guys. It's glamorous. See, we got the pinball machine over there. You want to go show them the pinball machine?
Right here.
That's the pinball machine. We've got the elliptical that I never use right behind me. We've got the Chuck Norris Total Gym over here. Would you like to demonstrate with some leg exercises? If you have a few questions for Samantha, she'll stay with me for a couple minutes and then we'll let her get the hell out of here. But she was excited to see all of you because she always wonders who listens to me. And it's all of you guys here. See, you can read what they're saying here, right? Mike says, nice Bears shirt, Samantha. Too bad they suck, right?
Yeah.
All our teams suck, except for the crew. The crew are good.
Yeah, that's the only one.
Samantha, what's your favorite cartoon?
My favorite cartoon is the Barbie show.
The Barbie show?
Yeah.
Did you watch the Barbie movie?
Yes.
I didn't see it. Was it good?
Yes.
Okay. What else do we have here? What's your favorite restaurant?
Condado.
Condado?
Yeah, seriously.
All right.
And then
what else do we have? How cool is your daddy? See?
So cool.
Yes, of course. All right, here, cool dad. Would you like some wine?
No.
I have some wine.
What are you kidding?
We have some nice Chianti Classico tonight. What? What's the best thing you've done this summer?
Zoo camp.
Zoo camp. You had zoo camp today.
Yeah.
And zoo camp next week. Did you get to shovel all the elephants' crap?
No.
What do you do at zoo camp?
We go to the cheetah run.
Cheetah run? I never saw the cheetah run.
It's so amazing.
They have the little dog that runs with the cheetahs, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, how about one more, okay? Let's see what we got here. Zoo camp. Favorite one of Dad's sayings. What do I say a lot of?
I love you.
I love you? That's what I say a lot of?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye.
All right, why don't you go upstairs? Bye. Wave to everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Close that door, will you, please? All right. All right. Camera's here. Screen is here. When I address you guys, I'm going to try and look here because I know it's annoying when I'm looking down. But anyway, there's no plan to this. So ask questions away, and I'll do what I can. Bye-bye. She is cute. She much cuter than me. She looks like me, acts like her mother. I'm glad you like the Queen voice. I do it way too much. I actually do it at home. I do it in restaurants. And it's usually just like a little, and it just comes out of nowhere. And I get a lot of eye rolling from the people in this house. Can you determine the ratings for the show? Yes, oddly enough, we got our ratings yesterday. We get our ratings monthly. And then what they do is every 3 months, they average out quarterly. So we got our quarterly spring book ratings. They call them books, rating periods, yesterday. And I don't think I'm legally able to share them with you. I can tell you that we did well. All the shows did well. When I first started working here, man, we were happy in football season because we were on the AM. We were happy to get a 2-share. You know, a 2-share means of all the people listening to the radio, 2% are listening to you. Now, that equates to, hundreds and thousands of people sometimes, but still, 2-share means 2% of the radios are listening to you that are on, right? This last ratings book that we had in our demographic, men 25, 54. And we skew younger than that too. And there are women who listen. I'm sure there are women in this chat right now. But the numbers that we look at is men 25, 54. We had a 25. Okay. So that means of all the dudes who are 25 to 54 years old listening to the radio, a quarter of them are listening to us. And these were numbers for June, when there's nothing going on except for, pee-pee no worky and food talk. What else do we got? Women who listen are cooler. I know they are. I always get a kick out of when women tell me they listen to the show. And it's been such a cock fest for a long time. Sports radio has been. Doesn't have to be. A quarter of us are losers. Yes, absolutely. Stream the show from Houston almost daily. Thank you, my friend. I hope you didn't get all that flooding and all that crap from the hurricane. What's the crazy Mr. Belding story? I feel like I've told this before. I could tell it again. Mr. Belding from Saved by the Bell was coming in to do a Clippers game. And this was when we still talked to people. And so they said, "You want to bring us to bring him in?" I said, "Sure, whatever." So Mr. Belding comes in, and he's like a cartoon of what you would expect Mr. Belding to be. He's Mr. Belding. He's not a guy playing Mr. Belding. So, he's just a strange guy, weird guy. I think we did maybe 2 segments with him. One segment, we were coming back from break. He had like a bracelet on, some sort of metal jewelry bracelet. And like the intro music is playing. I'm putting my headphones back on. He then hands me this bracelet to like look at or admire. And I looked at T-Bone. I said, "What the hell am I supposed to do with this thing?" And so I just sort of held on to the bracelet for a little while. Anyway, really weird dude. Here's what made it awkward though. So after he left, we of course promptly made fun of him. And then the next day, I was flying out for a vacation. So I'm at Port Columbus, and I'm sitting there in the gate waiting for the flight. And I see this guy with this crooked Clipper hat on walking. I said, "Oh my God, it's him. It's Mr. Belding." And I sort of like did one of these because I didn't want him to sit down and talk to me and show me his bracelet again. Or maybe he probably heard us making fun of him when he left. All right, what else? Any more uncensored podcasts? Maybe, but I'm guessing these can kind of be the uncensored podcasts. Who else is in here? Teddy's in here. What are you doing, Teddy? How many people are in here? 332. You had over under at 100. You guys are crazy. Listen every day from Cleveland. Thank you. It won't be a sausage fest if you bring back Leanna, the traffic girl. Well, we have Nicole, who does traffic for us, and she does a good job. Leanna had an opportunity. Here's the thing. We had Leanna working for us through a traffic service. The traffic service is in Detroit. And so we didn't pay her directly. Breaking news. When you work for a traffic service, you make less than the person wrapping your burrito. She's just trying to survive. So they cut her hours. We didn't do anything about that. Really, she was just doing our show, and she liked to do it. But we can't ask her to stick around and not be able to pay her rent because she likes doing the show. So she took a job. I assume she's still there at the Henry Ford Museum in Detroit, like giving tours. So if you happen to be up there, pee-pee worky. You feel a little bit naked without your sounds. Yes, I feel naked without headphones on and a microphone in front of my face. You look much less fat from a straight-on angle. Thank you very much. What are you drinking? Chianti Classico. You can never go wrong with a good Chianti. Light goes with everything. Don't believe people when they say red wine's just for red meat. Get the hell out of here. What else? Can we please see Lord Worthington? Lord Worthington is hanging on the wall. I cannot show you Lord Worthington, but that is the little thumbnail picture that we have. Is Lloyd Worthington. What happened to your original podcast? I loved it. Gone, lost to the archives. I don't know. Greetings from Seattle. How you doing, buddy? This chat is crazier than the show. We're just getting started. We're 10 minutes into this. This could go 10 minutes. It could go an hour. I don't know. What's been your favorite and least favorite moment at the fan? Lots. It's hard to narrow it down after 20 plus years. I'm glad I'm not working with the jocks anymore. I mean, you got to do what you got to do when you're starting out, you know. I would, and then trust me, they were for the most part good guys, except for Herbie. Spiels, good guy, but it was just frustrating because I could never sort of do fully what I wanted to do. But that's more than 15 years ago now that I had to do any of that. New traffic person drinking game. Why do you look so relaxed? I am relaxed. I'm in my house. I have shorts on. Or nothing. It's up to you. That actually is my rowing machine. The Torg Isn't Coming Back episode was a tough listen. It was a tough show to do, trust me, because that was like the week from hell. Because, it's hard to believe that that's what 12 years now? I've worked with T-Bone twice as long as I work with Torg. But it all worked out, man. He's got his job at Q. He's been there forever. He still texts me when he's in a panic about something. I never get like a normal, like, hey, how you doing? I always get the, oh my God, look what happened. Oh my God, we're so stupid, blah, 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 blah. That's what I get all the time. Panicked Torg. Torg is working in the mornings at QFM. You still hang out occasionally with Torg. Sometimes I will get lunch with Torg. It's about as much Torg as I can take. And even then, it's tough because he's loud. Like if you think that's radio Torg, that's Torg. I was in a Greek restaurant with him once, and I like to eat early, right? So we're there at 11 a.m. Restaurant's pretty much empty. So it's quiet. We're sitting down. And a normal person conversation is kind of like this, because you don't want everybody, like the cooks in the back, to hear what you're talking about. Torg had just come back from a trip to the Bengal game. He's a Vikings fan. So the Bengals were playing the Vikings. He wears all his Vikings things to the Bengal game. So he then decides to tell me all of the things that he was yelled at during the game because of his Viking stuff. But he doesn't just say, yeah, dude, so anyway, they really gave me a hard time, and, I don't think I'm going to go back there. We're sitting there, menus open, quiet restaurant, and all you can hear probably for blocks away is, so then he said, fuck this fucker, fucking cocksucking fucking fuck. And then the waiter comes over and is just standing there, and a normal person would stop, look at the waiter, and say, oh, I'm sorry. I'll have something to drink, right? Instead, he just keeps going, bop, 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 saying these horrible things, and then turns to the waiter and says, you got Coke Zero? No? Why not? Most uncomfortable moment of my life, and I've had a lot of them. I can't unhear the Pisa traffic bumper. Me neither. This is one of them. No, it's not. Stop it. It can't be one of them. It's not a real show. Who's the most genuinely funny person at the fan? It's all subjective, right? I mean, I think Timmy's hilarious. Timmy has me in stitches all the time. Mostly because he's fucking stupid, and he will laugh at his stupidity. Is he here? It's 8:14. His show's over, right? I wish you could cuss on the radio. No, someday. Those old shows don't really exist anymore. We had a few of them left. When we switched buildings, they're all gone. That's the thing about radio. We do so many shows. I mean, it's every day. It's every day. It's just me 3 hours, let alone all the other stuff that we do. It's impossible to archive all this stuff. It's impossible. you put on a tracksuit for us? No. You know, if I'm still doing this in the wintertime, I'll wear a tracksuit for you. How crazy is Bobby? Crazy. Does your wife listen to the show? Not really. How did you get Obama on? He called us. His people called us. You know, they said that the show was doing well at that point, ratings wise. Of course, he wants to go talk to a certain demographic. We have that demographic. Ohio was a swing state. And so I initially didn't want to do it. And it had nothing to do with I'm going to vote for him, I'm not going to vote for him. It's just I didn't want to alienate half my audience. But then I said, all right, well, if he comes on and talks about nothing politically and he gets no questions in advance and he does whatever we want to do, then we'll have him on. Thinking, no way in hell are they ever going to agree to that. And they did. And there you go. You should get Robert Kennedy on. I'd love it. We also extended the invitation to Mitt Romney. He was running against Mitt Romney that year. Mitt Romney didn't come on. He's a Michigan bastard. Do you hate Tito? No, I do not. That's just a little funny thing. He's annoying as shit, though. My God. He's like one of those little yapper dogs. He's a 53-year-old yapper dog. I want to touch the walls. You better not touch my goddamn walls. Have you ever considered syndication? Yes, but then I couldn't do this, right? I considered a lot of stuff early in my career. I considered national. I considered syndication. I considered, when my contract was up last year, going to a podcast entity and doing it there. And no, it's not for me. I tried a little of the national radio years ago. I did some weekend stuff for ESPN. Didn't like it. It's not fun because you don't know who you're talking to. You're talking to people in Nebraska. You're talking to people in Ohio. You're talking to people in Florida. These are completely different audiences. So how do you cater a show, a good show, to fit that? You can't. So what you wind up doing is a generic, stale show that's no fun. Not interested. And in the old days, the national guys made much more than the local guys. That's not the case anymore. You have your exceptions, right? But like, who's on in the mornings on ESPN radio? Tell me. I don't know. I have no idea. They're making $5, whoever it is. Glad you're in Columbus. I will never leave Columbus. The only way I leave Columbus is if my daughter leaves. And, you know, she's an only child. So wherever the hell she goes, I'm going with her. What's your best impression? You guys have to answer that. I don't know. I think they all suck. Would you rather deal with Florio or Herbie? Oh, my God. I tried to deal with Herbie, or with Florio. Florio used to do a weekly hit on Rothman's show. And something came up in his schedule where he couldn't make that time work anymore. So the boss comes to me and says, hey, we really want to keep this relationship with Florio. Do you think you could do it in the afternoon with him? He's available at that time. And I said, no. I don't want to do it. I hate everything that he says. I hate everything about him. I don't want to do it. But then I went home and I thought about it. And my wife said I was being a dick. So I tried it. We did it for 4 weeks. Every single time he came on, I wanted to rip my eyeballs out and throw him down his throat. And so I said, I can't do it anymore. I refuse. So he's dead now. Evan Turner. Oh! Does Kristen have a book coming out anytime soon? Nope. She is focusing on running her business. She has a marketing and PR agency. She is the boss lady. She also dabbles in some television writing. So who knows about that? Why won't Keels interact with you guys? He does sometimes. We don't want to put him in an awkward position, though. Keels is a professional. Keels has won Ohio Broadcaster of the Year 6 years in a row. He doesn't need to get down in the mud with me. All right, I was making fun of it because I'm walking back to my desk the other day with the Queen wig, you know, and he sits right next to me, and I'm like, you know, he's accepting awards, and I'm walking back to my desk with props. So what's the worst mistake you made in your career? Going to Southern California. Hated it. It was not a good time. I went to work at a music radio station in Bakersfield, California. Had my own morning show. And it was just a shitty company, which is no longer in business. And Bakersfield was shitty too. And I was dating this girl who didn't come with me out there, yet we were still trying to make it work, which it doesn't. And I was there for a little while. And it paid shit, but it was an opportunity. And then the boss comes to me and says, "Hey, you know that contract we signed you to? Yeah, we can't afford it." Okay. So I was left with, either pack up, go back, live with my parents again, admit that I was wrong, or bum around Southern California for a little while, which I did, and it was miserable. I hated it. What happened to Neft? I think he's working in like mortgages or something. I think he still lives in town. He's out of the radio business. Will you see Gladiator 2 in the theater? Get the hell out of here. No, I will not see it in the theater. Bakersfield equals Guantanamo. That's exactly right. I wish I could answer some of these questions. If you weren't in radio, what would you do? Nothing. I'm a bum. I would be a bum. My wife asks me sometimes, like, is there something else you want to do? What do you want to do? I have no aspirations. This is it. What employees do you miss who aren't the fan anymore? Oh, I've seen a lot of them come and go, man. I miss my friend Emily, who passed away. Emily worked in promotions, and she was awesome. And she got cancer. I miss lots of people. There was a buddy of mine. He works at CNN now, Keith Allen, who was a good guy. We had fun. That was back when we were still on the AM, which I kind of miss a little bit because we flew under the radar because they were so concerned with the music radio station and all those problems. They didn't give two shits about us. What happened to your homage deal? Nothing. It just sort of ran its course. That's not to say something can't be done again. Are you guys going to bring back merch sales like the stickers? I think they're working on T-shirts. I mean, I heard about it a couple months ago. We were going to do something, and then I haven't. Here's how things work. And I'm sure it's how they work in every single office. Yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. And then nothing. Why don't you write a book? I'm illiterate. You know what? I have the worst memory in the history of the world. If I was famous enough to write a memoir, I'd just make it up because I remember nothing. Who's in here? Is Jen here? What does "it's happening" mean? You want me really to make it happen? What about the pizza book? Maybe. I'd have to be retired, though, for that, I think. Oh, Max is here. Max and Jen. See, Max works upstairs. Max's real name, Heather, okay? And Heather sort of runs the entire radio station. So if you piss off Heather, you're dead. Jen, I piss off just for fun. Where the hell do you go every commercial break? Can I tell you something? It's so fucking hot in that studio for me. I cannot sit in there. I got a little fan by my desk, and I will go there and just let air get on my face, or I play ping pong with Timmy, or I piss. Should Lou Whitaker be in the Hall of Fame? Go away. By the way, that Cody Welling guy right there, he is the boss of the whole radio station. So go ahead and shoot him some text. What's your preference in eye color on a hot chica? Doesn't matter. Just as long as she has two. You know what? Gabby Thomas can be a cyclops. Don't care. Oh, Lulu's here. How's that playlist I made for you, asshole? My God. Should Dale Murphy be in the Hall of Fame? No. Best pizza you've ever had. Pizza is mood-based. I tell this to people all the time. There are times where I just cannot live without like a thin, cut into squares type of pizza. And sometimes I just want to like dig my knife and fork into it. It's mood based. Kenny Lofton should be the Hall of Fame. No, he shouldn't. When is Hunan reopening? I don't know. If you know them, say it's been almost a year now. Sorry for the fire, assholes, but let's go. Mikey needs his lo mein. Favorite Chevelle song and album? Sci-Fi Crimes is my favorite album. I actually have Dean, who is the bassist, I think he left the band. For Chevelle, I actually have a painting of his hanging in my stairway, an original painting that he made for me. That's cool. Oh, by the way, speaking of music that I like, can I tell you something? Pearl Jam, Dark Matter. Here's the thing. Normally, with bands of a certain age, I will buy their stuff and I will say, okay, it's something. It's good for what they are. My expectations are not high because it's usually old men trying to rekindle something or trying to sound like everybody else that's being listened to right now, trying to sound younger than they are. This Pearl Jam stacks up with anything they've ever done. That is the highest praise I can ever give them. Eddie Vedder, if you're watching, fuck off because you're a Cubs fan, but man, that's good. Beamer's here. I love you, Beamer. Have you not had any Chinese food since the fire? Crappy Chinese food. I do like, we tried a bunch of different places. And look, I know that a lot of you have your places, and I've tried a lot of them. It's impossible for me to try every single thing. The problem is we would get Hunan Lion every single Wednesday. Every Wednesday. I would just go on my way home, pick it up, right? So logistically, it has to make sense for me to take it home. Like there's a place on the east side, Chai Tai, that I like, but I can't go to New Albany or Gahanna, whatever the hell they call that now, and then take that all the way home on a Wednesday night. It's impossible. So once in a while we go on a weekend, but no. This is keep the beard going. This is just laziness. Laziness. I usually shave once a week, and I decided not to this week. What will it take to do a live show? Hey, if you guys show up to this thing, I'll get, because Kristen's like, don't put me on it. I'm not wearing any makeup. Ma! Okay, don't worry about it. What do you think of Twisters? I don't know. I'm not going to see it. Best non-traditional pizza. Eagles Taco Pizza is wonderful. I usually like the ranch pizzas with like chicken and tomatoes and maybe a little bacon on there. Give me restaurant recommendations for Chicago. Everybody asks me. First of all, I haven't lived there in over 20 years. When I did live there, I didn't have any goddamn money. So I didn't go to any cool restaurants. A lot of the stuff I went to was in the suburbs because that's where I lived. So, and most people are going downtown. But if you are going downtown, you want Italian food, Rosebud on Rush. Always consistent, always good. I think they're remodeling it. It may be open. I don't know. As far as pizza, you have to understand, like, you think of like Chicago style pizza as thick pizza, which is real and it's good and I like it. But growing up, I ate that pizza once or twice a year. That was like special occasion stuff. Every week, we got thin tavern style, cut into squares pizza. That's like real Chicago pizza. So if you're going to Chicago and you want to have real Chicago pizza, go to a thin crust place. I hate Wrigley Field. It is a playground for idiots. However, there is a place right by Wrigley's called Pat's. Pat's has been around forever. Thin, crispy pizza, delicious. Home run in pizza. Yes. Better in the shop. Southside pizza is tricky in Chicago because on the south side, they put lots of sugar in the sauce for the most part, and I hate a sweet sauce. So if you like sweet sauce, go to the south side, have pizza. If you don't like candy sauce, like Aurelio's, tastes like licorice. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Who's in here? We miss you, Sticker Brad. Is Sticker Brad in here? Is Stupid Brad in here? I can't see him. You obviously have your Mercedes. What else you drove? I don't have a Mercedes. I have an Audi and I have the Lexus. What was Circle K on double secret probation for before he came back? There's no double secret probation. It's just, he was doing a lot of radio with me. He had other responsibilities. He runs a insurance group, That's not to say he can't come in again and do stuff. You hate people, you hate cameras. Why are you doing this? I'm doing this for you guys because this is my thank you to you guys. Sticker Brad is here. Well, hello, Brad. I see you, Brad. I hope you're doing well. What's it going to take to get Spielman to do an interview? Not interested. He's having a nice little career for himself with the Lions now. I think things are just better left there. What's your favorite movie of all time? Gladiator. I'm very leery of New Gladiator. What parts of Vermont did you visit? I visited Manchester. I visited Woodstock, where I ran into Paul Keels. Do you know what that's like, by the way, to work with a guy? You sit next to a guy, and then you go to Vermont, and you're walking around a small town, and you see the guy, Paul Keels, across the street. First of all, I thought the end of the world was coming, that I was having some sort of mental break. And as soon as he saw me, trust me, he thought that too. How often do you get recognized in public? I hardly go in public. What sport were you best at? Baseball. Can you please use the total chip on camera? I haven't had enough wine to do that for you tonight, kids. Maine is absolutely beautiful. I want to go to Maine. Actually, Keels goes to Maine now because I think it was the year after that he was going on, because he always goes to the Northeast. And I said, "Oh, you're going back to Vermont?" And he said, "No, I'm going to Maine." And I said, "Well, what happened to Vermont?" And he said, "Well, the woman that I went to Vermont with is no longer on scholarship," which is one of my favorite lines ever. Do you have a different voice in public versus the radio? I mean, I guess a little bit. I clean it up a little bit just to make it enunciate, but no, this is pretty much it. I love Jason Stark once a week. Let me tell you something about Jason Stark, man. He is a genuine guy. What you hear is what you get. There is no faking there. And if there was, we wouldn't have him on. Arby's accidentally gave me 10 for $5 that special week. You lucky bastard. Did Rimmer admit to being drunk on Wednesday? No, he's not drunk. He's just not. The phone reception was bad, and he's still dealing with the neck surgery stuff. Have you ever had lunch with Jason Stark? Oddly enough, never met him in person. Keels was talking to him last week because they were at the same awards ceremony. They were talking about me. They said that. I'm sure making fun of me, but never met him in person. Would love to. Angela Pace needs to come on more. She's great. She is great. She's awesome. Got a non-wine alcoholic beverage. Not with me, but if you want a suggestion, I love the San Pellegrino. I love the flavored sparkling waters. Brad Rothman told me the only reason he lost to you at ping pong was because it was at your house and he was feeling a little under the weather. You know what? Maybe that was true. Rothman played tennis in college at Indiana. And when I beat him at ping pong, It was like I killed his mom. And now I refuse to play him again. I refuse to run. I think it's bourbon time. Maybe it is. Has T-Bone been to your house? Yes, he's been to my house. This is one of them. No, it's not. For the record, I have 4 kids and not religious, just crazy with a weak pullout game. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Everybody takes their shoes off when they come to my house. If you don't take your shoes off, I ask like moving men to take, and they're like, we can't legally do that. It's like, well, here's a 20. Please do it. I've been listening for over a year and I still don't know how you got the bacon, egg, and cheese bagel to come back. We shame them. Plain and simple. They brought it back. The local franchisees brought it back to shut us up because we wouldn't shut up about it. And then guess what happened when they brought it back? People bought them. And they're like, oh, this is good. Maybe we should roll this out permanently again. Yes, maybe you should, dumbasses. And maybe you should remind people once in a while that you have it and advertise it, and then people will come and get it. It's my greatest. Interviewed the president, bacon, egg, and cheese bagel. My greatest claims to fame. All day breakfast. I'm not a miracle worker. We're working on the snack wrap to come back. Tell them the Dave Thomas story about spicy chicken. When I was a teenager, my glass is empty. When I was a teenager, I wrote a letter to Dave Thomas, founder of Wendy's, because the spicy chicken was a limited time item back then, and I loved it. And I said, it's my favorite. Please make it a permanent thing. He wrote me back. He sent me an 8x10 glossy of himself, which for some reason I framed and put in my bedroom. And then I wondered why like high school girls would recoil in horror as soon as they walked in. But he said it was his favorite too, and he was going to add it to the permanent menu. I did that. Me. And because of it, I didn't get laid in high school. I think it would be child abuse if I got Samantha to pour me another glass of wine. The owner of Meister's Bar is a friend of mine. He did the same exact thing with the Big Bacon Classic. Good. Guess what? He died, and now the spicy chicken is garbage. Sometimes a little inconsistent. Ooh, Gabby Douglas or Malika Andrews. Gabby Douglas. Watch Olympic volleyball. I will watch Olympic volleyball. I wish I could answer all these. They're just coming in so quickly. Give Burger King a chance. Oddly enough, hey, let me show you this. Samantha was talking about how she wanted to go to Burger King, and I didn't want to take her, but her grandmother today, can we see this? Can you see this? Took her to Burger King. So she had her first Burger King experience today, and she said she loved it. BK French toast sticks. You know what I miss? French toast sticks from Market Day. I know you guys got Market Day. I know I'm going to watch Star Wars. I promise I'll do it. Market Day was the best. Absolutely it was. Do you like Quippy? I don't know what that is. I never noticed the Italian fro on your head even when I met you. Oh man, let me tell you something. My hair's short. One time I tried to grow it out because I wanted it to be like John Bon Jovi or something, and I'm like, it's growing up and up and up, and everybody's like, oh, it'll just fall down. It'll fall down. Never fell down. Looked like Gene Simmons. Terrible. Thoughts on Piata? Never been there. I love me a good White Castle burger too. Oh, QP? Yes, I've been to QP in Lima. You should see my father's like half bald now, but if you think I have the Italian fro, you should have seen him. He played in a he played saxophone in a jazz band. He was the only white guy in the band, and he would put the pick in his afro. Does Keel sneeze a lot? Yes. I've never been to Popeyes. Get the hell out of here. Speck in Delaware is now closed. Is that Italian place that we were talking about? Paul. Favorite bourbon? I don't really have a favorite bourbon. I like Blanton's. I like the Blanton's Gold. It's all good. Ever worn makeup? Yes, for TV. I hate TV. Speck is now downtown on High and Gay or so. Okay. It got too classy for Delaware. Had to move out. Worst public appearance. When I first started out, they'd make you do like these public appearances at like a bank, like the grand opening of a Huntington bank. No one's coming. You know, these people think, oh, they're gonna all show up to meet you and then open up checking accounts. No, they're not. They may come to say hello and then leave. No one's, oh, I'm at the bank? Yeah, sure. I'll open up a CD, whatever. You have any live appearances planned? No. I think we have a couple more contractually obligated to Hollywood Casino at some point this year. Are you enjoying this? Yes, I am. Sure. You don't want shirtless common man to hit the total gym. Trust me. Do you gamble? Not really. Do you fly an Italian flag outside? No. Man and Bone Fest, never going to happen. There's a company that builds Mini Coopers with 500 horsepower and they go 200? Yes. You sent me the link on Instagram. I will check that out. Worst guest you've ever done? Man, there's so many. You know, we did a lot of bad ones. We used to tape them and then we would play them like they were live, but a lot of them were so bad we just didn't even play them. Next time you're in Cincy, go to Soto. Best Italian I've ever had. All right. I usually don't like Italian food, although I am going to an Italian restaurant tomorrow night. There's a good one in Powell called Novella. Most embarrassing moment live on the air? Lots. Too many. Unzippy time? Be careful what you ask for. You look like a young Emerald Lagasse. I am not a Portuguese. Does Samantha watch I Love Lucy with you? Not anymore. She used to when she was a baby. I would put her in the bed with me when she was like a year and a half because it would come on at like on Hallmark Channel like 5 o'clock in the morning, and she would just sit there and watch it. Gottlieb was the worst. Gottlieb sucked. That was live. I wish, and I hung up on him shortly after that. Hate Gottlieb. How many times your wife got mad at you for things you said on the show? I can't even count that on one hand. She knows the deal, and I try not to step over lines that I know that I shouldn't. She's much more forgiving than I would be. Favorite Seinfeld episode? The episode where George loses but thinks he got his glasses stolen at the gym. He gets lady glasses. Elaine gets bitten by the dog and thinks she has rabies. You still watch QVC as much as you used to? Sometimes, just for shits and giggles. Do you have a six pack? No, I used to. Not anymore. You know what? Maybe on another night, shirt up. Favorite thing you've bought from QVC? A little like pepper grinder thing, just like a ratchet grinder. I met the girl I want to marry. Now what? Marry her. What is your dream car? My dream car is actually sort of like a lifestyle car. I want to have a manor with a stone driveway, like a gravel driveway, and I want to get a tweed jacket with elbow patches and a cap and have a British racing green Aston Martin with brown, rich leather and mahogany on the inside. I haven't said any who once. Thank you. And by the way, I think about that all the time. You know what, Max? I love Downton Abbey. I love Downton Abbey. Are you ever going to see Creed live? I did see him live. Look it up. There is just type in Scott Stapp, Chicago, drunk. Go to Google and do that. I was there. Show us your tattoo. All right. See it? That's it. I'm not bone. It's a little faded. Giada or Barefoot Contessa? Giada for obvious reasons, but Barefoot Contessa, she's making me food. What does it say? You will never know what my tattoo says. Now, if there's someone in this chat who can read Chinese, maybe you can figure it out. Who would you get another tattoo, and would you have Bone with you? Bone's actually getting a tattoo, I think, this weekend. He's off next week, so I think he's getting another tattoo, and he will soon be the full illustrated man. Who reads Chinese? Chinese people read Chinese. Would you get another one, though? I may. There's one that I have in my head of what I want, but I'm kind of a pussy, and I don't know if I want to go through with it. Do you get tired of people doing show bits to you? No. I get tired of doing the show bits sometimes, but when you guys like them enough to do them back to me, no. I think that's fun. How many times you crapped your pants in public? Well, there was once when I was a kid, that softball story that I told. And then I crapped my pants once accidentally when I first started dating Kristen in her college dorm. Is that in public? I ran in the woods and threw the underwear in the woods. I was at Vincenzo's earlier to get bread while I watched. It's good, and they're good guys over there. Good people. You think Ryan Day will win the Natty this year? God, I hope so. When was the last time you pissed the bed? Don't remember. Sorry. What part of town are you in? I'm in Dublin. Didn't you throw her bath mat into the woods too? Yes, because I shit on the bath mat too. I shit my underwear and it leaked onto the bath mat. Where's the wine? The wine is gone. It's empty. All right, let's do about 5 more minutes because then the kid needs to go to bed and I have to read a bedtime story. That's my job. Tried the Restoration Hardware fries today. They're the real deal. That makes me so happy, Juicy Dave. I'm so thrilled. Did we get a bedtime story? No, but I do read the Piggy and Gerald Pig and Elephant books. If you have kids of the same age, I do all the voices. Do you miss the Anderson store? I haven't thought about it, but yes, I miss the Anderson store. You've probably covered this before. What made you want to get into radio? I knew I wanted to do something interesting, something creative. I didn't know what that was. I thought maybe, like actor, musician. Then I realized I have no musical talent. I love music, have no musical talent. I have no ability to memorize anything. That is bad when you're trying to learn music because it's like learning a language. It's also bad when you're trying to act because I couldn't memorize lines. So what I decided to do was essentially 3 hours of improv every single day. So when people tell me, I want to get into radio, I want to do what you do. What's my step? And I said, well, first of all, it's easy now. Get a podcast. Secondly, go take improv classes. That'll help. Who wins the Euro? You know who wins the Euro. You know it. Do you use the exercise equipment behind you? No, I do not. The story about the broadcaster you called in Chicago is awesome. Yes, that is Lance McAllister. He is still working in Cincinnati. He's been around for a long time. Ryan, you're pretty close on that tattoo meaning, buddy. Have you been to any shows at Shadowbox Live? Yet years ago. I have not been in, years. Do you remember interviewing Mick Mixon? No. Did I? Do you love pizza? Yes. Is Howard Stern an influence of yours? I think anybody who does any sort of talk radio, he's an influence. I never wanted to do just an imitation of anybody. But I mean, you take pieces of people and that's what your on-air personality becomes. Except Gottlieb. Yes, except Gottlieb. Do you practice your impressions? No, they suck. And you can tell I don't practice. You're great and make me laugh every day. Thank you. I'm glad you're here. Let me tell you something, guys. I need you guys sometimes just as much as you think you need me. Because this is whatever we're doing is hard. And so if you can find something that keeps you company and you feel attached to from a community perspective, it's pretty cool. So to see you guys in the chat, that's the reason I'm doing this too, because see you guys in the chat interacting with each other, talking about the show, that's all I need. It really is. Is Solana Papadilla here? You ever had Marlowe's cheesesteaks? No, because we were talking about them the other day about Marlowe's cheesesteaks were voted like the best fries or something, and I have not had them. I do love the, what the hell is it called? See, I can't remember anything. Wario's. Wario's is a good sandwich, man. It's expensive as shit. It is, but they're huge sandwiches. A regular person could split, but they're delicious. Do you piss spaghetti sauce? Yes, I do. Had Wario's today. Goddamn, was it good? It is good, man. Now, I hear her calling me. I'm going to end the stream, guys. I appreciated the hell out of this. I'm not going to do it every Friday, but as long as you guys enjoy it, I'll keep doing it. I mean, it's easy for me. I mean, I just got a stupid webcam in my basement here, and maybe, I'll stick here, or I'll move it around a little bit so you can see other parts of the basement. But I'm going to end this stream. If I do it right, it will be saved on here so you can watch it at your leisure and read the comments too. So I appreciate all of you for coming. I really do. Have a good night. Pour yourself a glass of wine or whatever. And I will talk to you on Monday. Timmy is with me next week. Timmy with me next week. And then Tyve is with me on Friday. So good night.